right? And I'm really good at XYZ. And then suddenly you decide, actually, hold on, that's not what I want. And actually, hold on, no, this is who I am now. I mean, how would, like, wherever you want to take that, I mean, how did that happen? Like, where did you go? How did it
Yeah, I
feel?
think so. I've always been very careful with how I present myself online. That's always been a decision that I've made. I don't want to be Jack, the video guy. I want to be Jack, the guy who makes cool shit on social, but also has this opinion on this and has this opinion on this. It's kind of a round business. But, I share everything from the trials and tribulations and the challenges that I've gone through with business, the successes of agency life, the shift. I've just been myself, and it kind of comes back to, just not manufacturing who I am, not having all my brand pillars and my personal brand strategy figured out. I just think if you're a nice person and you have a cool product, you're going to do quite well. You've just got to do it for longer than anybody else can commit to doing it for. That's literally it. I've been posting on LinkedIn now for probably 7, 8 years, maybe. I was one of the first people to make video on the platform, which is kind of crazy. So I'll kiss my own backside on that one. But I've seen so many big creators come and go. Obviously I can't name drop because that's not very nice, but all the big creators back in 2020 through 2021, then they kind of died through COVID, and some others have now come back. And you will always see this ebb and flow of big influencers that then, moving on to different platforms because they're trying to ride the waves of what's trending and, the reach and those sorts of things. But the best ones, regardless of what happens algorithmically, will just be themselves. They'll show up regularly. They'll create good stuff to help other people, and they'll have a half decent product or service that actually does what it says on the tin. And I think my saying is brand equity. So it's kind of like Gary. When all else fails, if you're just remembered as someone who makes the best stuff, people will remember you, not from what you do or not from what you say, but how you make people feel. And if you can show up and you can just tell that story as open and honest as possible, which I know sounds a little bit wanky because we tap into personal branding and being authentic and all that stuff, you will be remembered. So regardless of the transitions that you make in your career, which always a plan from the get-go, people will kind of come along with you. They don't just follow you because Jack is the agency owner. They follow me because I like his journey, and maybe I don't need this yet, but maybe if he builds something in the future, I might give him a message. It's building that brand credibility, right? I throughout the career that I had running agencies, and by the way, I might run another one in the future, not now because I'm just exhausted from it, and I think I kind of burnt myself out with it, but maybe again in the future. Never say never. There's plenty more businesses to build, but I had the idea of this probably from 2 years in. So I used to do consulting on the side. I used to do strategy courses and those sorts of things. I did in-person workshops, sort of coming to the sort of maybe a year before I ended up closing the agency, just to kind of test the water and see where people were going. It was called the Odyssey Experience. We had like 10 people come to this in-person workshop and training. So I've always been testing other things in the background, and